Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no. This is unbelievable. I have never experienced a time where so many unbelievable and beautiful girls have subscribed to my YouTube channel. And from my heart to yours, thank you so much for that, because you didn't have to subscribe to this YouTube channel or hit the like button when you did. I honestly would love to see every girl who watches these videos hit the subscribe button, because I get really excited when a girl hits my subscribe button, because it lets me know that the girl loves these videos so much, and it gives me incentive to keep creating these videos for the girl who hits the subscribe or the like button. There is no better feeling in the world when you know that some girl reaches out and opens up her heart and says, "Hey Jonathan, I love your video." Thank you so much for that, and I honestly mean that from my heart to yours. I hope more girls continue to subscribe to this YouTube channel every single night of my life. When I upload a video, I look forward to seeing the subscriber count always increase on this YouTube channel, because of the passion for Descendants and Zombies that has all brought us together. It's a passion undeniably that has brought us all together, and I love creating these videos for each and every one of you. I have a lot of opinions where it goes from the original cast to the new cast to Zombies, of course, the original cast, and the new cast we just saw introduced into the franchise for Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, which I think has a long way to go but can get there. And I think that Meg Donnelly and Milo Manheim have never been more supportive of a cast and believe that a cast can do a great job in carrying a torch. And I look forward to Zombies 5. I really do. I want to find out what is in that vortex. I want to experience it all with all of you. But I can't experience it with all of you unless you hit the subscribe button, which I would love for you to do. Because I honestly, sometimes I'm reduced to tears when I see so many girls hitting my subscribe button because they love Descendants and Zombies. I love it too. The first time I saw it was in 2015. I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with a girl who had a daughter who was infatuated with Descendants. And I remember sitting down with her and watching the original Descendants in 2015, and I was captivated by it. I was at a loss for words. I fell in love with the franchise. My girlfriend thought I was absolutely crazy, but I began researching it, and I wanted to understand why so many people loved it so much. And I like to believe that now, 10 years later, as we celebrate the 10th anniversary of Descendants, I have a greater appreciation for what Descendants was meant to have been really all about. It was a message of power. It was a message of acceptance. It was a message of fulfilling every single dream that a girl may have had. And I've always wanted to encourage a dream for a girl. I've never ever wanted to take that away from anybody. And here's the thing. If a guy can't see you for what you're worth, then you have to take yourself out of the situation, and he's not the one for you. A guy really needs to understand where a girl is coming from and how a girl feels, and all a girl ever really wants, or at least how I choose to look at it, a girl just wants a guy to be happy, and the people around her to be happy. And if a guy actually notices what a girl's purpose is, a girl will actually try to fulfill every dream that a guy has just to make him happy. All a girl ever wants is to put a smile on a guy's face, and the guy gets really frustrated. I know sometimes it's really hard to make sense of why a guy feels the way he does about a girl or why he reacts the way he does, but he does it because he's just a real idiot. And without girls, I think the world would be just a world basically with guys into it that were just taking up space that couldn't make sense of their own lives. And I think that Descendants and Zombies have done a fabulous job really showing what a girl's place is in this world and what her purpose is. And I think more girls now are fulfilling their purpose because of the message that Descendants and Zombies has relayed to them. And I am forever grateful for that, because for years on podcasts, I would try to talk to girls and I would try to reason with them about what they may have been going through, no matter if they called into my show, no matter if they had something going on personally in their life because of a relationship. I would always, for whatever niche I was trying to attract and appeal to, I would always try to relate to my audience, and every once in a while somebody would call in because my opinions were really sweet, and I would be talking to them and trying to help them make sense of their life because a guy was being a real idiot to them. And I remember years ago when Dove Cameron was being treated so horrible by Ryan McCartan, and I just let Ryan have it on my show, and I had to apologize for a lot of stuff I said about Ryan. But I think I was justified in what I said about Ryan, because I don't think no girl should have been treated the way that Dove Cameron was, or no girl should be treated like that, period. And Thomas Doherty pretty much did the same thing from 2016 to 2020. She wasted no time dropping the ball with Ryan, picking up again with Thomas Doherty, and now Dove Cameron is happier than she's ever been, because for the first time ever in her life she can be herself. And that's all I've ever wanted a girl to think she could be, is herself, and just represent herself for the way she wants to be represented for, not because of how some guy wants their image to seem flawless or perfect. And I see it a lot. You know, I see on Facebook, I have a lot of friends who I've never had anything to do with, but I've seen a lot of relationships and how they seem to make themselves look so perfect in pictures they use for display pictures, cover photos. They throw up on social media all the time. I think that's really ridiculous, because if a girl wants to seem, you know, like everything is perfect, the best way for her to seem how everything is perfect is just allow her to be herself. I think more guys need to stop being idiots to girls. And I think I'm going to have like 1,000,000 girls hitting my subscribe button. But I am forever thankful for how Descendants and Zombies has really instilled empowerment in the minds of a lot of girls that needed it. I think when Zombies was first premiered in 2018, in February of that year, I was going through a really difficult time. I had just lost my dad, and me and my dad were really close. And we spent a lot of time together. So it was the first 5 years without my dad, and I was missing him dearly. And I think that Zombies really was instilled in my mind that everything was going to be okay. Along with the message of empowerment that was being instilled in the minds of a lot of girls, making them stronger, or at least helping them become stronger, it was instilled in my mind that everything was going to be okay, because I was really going through a lot. And then on my journey as a YouTube creator, after having talked about specific niches, I found this niche. And I haven't left since. I've never looked back since. I have never met and engaged with so many incredible people because of the honor that Descendants and Zombies has given me and bestowed upon me. And I give you my word, because of what you guys have done for me, I will never ever quit on you. I will always ensure that there is a video uploaded on this YouTube channel every single day of my life, even if it's just one video. I will go out of my way to create a video on, say, for example, Bridget, who I love dearly. I loved Bridget so much because Bridget was just so kind, and I have never seen a Descendants character or an actress portray such a kind character. I want to say this. I love Ruby so much. I have no idea where she is in the world tonight, but I know she's out there somewhere, and I'm just hoping she's going to hear my voice about how much I love her so much, and I miss her being a part of the Descendants franchise. It's just a shame her character was so short-lived in the Descendants franchise, because I think she could have definitely catapulted to superstardom because of the portrayal of Bridget, and I think you could have went back in time and brought Bridget back to present day. I think that she would have been phenomenal in present-day Wonderland, and if I would have been the writer for the Descendants franchise, The Rise of Red, there would have been a sequel to The Rise of Red faster, almost instantly, as fast as you could snap your fingers, where they go back in time and bring Ruby back to present-day Wonderland, because I think that she would have been phenomenal in present-day Wonderland. I think that so many characters, not just Bridget, but every character in Descendants exemplified kindness in their own unique way. I think that Kylie Control did it in a very fearless way, and she was going through a lot. In February of 2024, she posted this very irking video on social media about how she was in this relationship with this guy, and I remember watching it. My heart felt like on times it was going to fall out on the floor. She was talking about this guy she was in a relationship with whom she believed didn't deserve to be talked about. Perhaps he doesn't. I really don't know. But then she started talking about how people were discussing her political point of view and how she wasn't a Donald Trump supporter, and I almost lost it. I cried for a couple of hours, and I said, this is it. On my YouTube channel, I'm announcing that I'm going to run for President of the United States in 2028. I don't know if I can get the job done or I'll be voted in, but if I am elected, I'm going to send a cease and desist order to TikTok to have all those videos removed. I'm going to have every negative video about Kylie Control removed off TikTok so she can Google herself again. I'm going to make Kylie Control happy again, and I'm going to give her a president that she can finally be proud of, which will include free Disney Plus for everybody, a free trip to Disney every year for families who can't afford it, and free health care. And I'm going to send a cease and desist order to Kylie Control's ex-boyfriend and have him removed from America and sent to Mexico in a box. I give you my word, if I don't vertical suplex him first in some nightclub that I attend with Ruby Rose Turner and Kylie Control by my side, where Kylie Control points at her ex-man. Somehow I have achieved worldwide popularity for my opinions on the boyfriends of Dove Cameron and Kylie Control, Ryan McCartan, Thomas Doherty, and of course Kylie Control's ex-man, who she thinks doesn't deserve to be talked about. But I want to say this. Kylie, you didn't do anything wrong. You are such a kind person who deserves a lot better than what she gets, and I say this about credit for Kylie Control. I think 660,000 followers on social media pages for Kylie Control and Ruby Rose Turner is a far cry from what they deserve. Ruby Rose Turner deserves a hell of a lot more credit than what she deserves. She's been entertaining all of you since she was 12 years old. Kylie Control has been entertaining all of you since she was 10. I remember watching her on that show, Hello Kylie, on YouTube, and I remember watching it because I was one of the first guys to premiere on YouTube in 2009. YouTube premiered in 2005, April 23rd of 2005. The first YouTube video was uploaded. It was called Me in the Zoo, And YouTube was very limited back then. You could only upload videos that were 10 minutes apart. So basically, if your video was an hour long, you had 3 parts, 10 minutes long. And it wasn't until years later you could upload videos in full. You could stream videos in 4K. You could go live, what have you. So you were very limited on YouTube. But I remember her YouTube show premiering about 3 or 4 years after YouTube premiered. And it became very quickly a rapid-fire ascension for Clarke Cantrell because her videos were quite popular. I remember her being a girl with a gap in her teeth. All she ever wanted to do was sing and dance, and I thought it was so cute. So here I was, like 19 years old, watching Clarke Cantrell dance and sing on YouTube on a show that eventually would become Hello Kylie, where she would offer analogies that were so adorable and so cute, and reviews of Sam and Cat Victorious, and I found it really cool. And I found it somewhat enthralling because I'll let you in a little secret. I thought that the Victorious cast was the most talented cast that ever been assembled for a kids' TV series. And it wanted to become the favorite TV series of all kids who watch Nickelodeon and Disney. And I remember seeing that in 2012, them getting the award for that. I gave all the credit in the world to Victoria Justice, Ariana Grande, who I'm a huge fan of. I will see you in November, my dear, for Wicked for Good on November 21st. I haven't got advance tickets yet because you can't buy them, but weeks before I will get that. I'm a guy who loves musicals. Have a crush on me if you wish, but I'm a guy who loves musicals, and I cry during every musical. I have a copy of The Notebook. I have P.S. I Love You. I watched the first part of Wicked. I will watch the second part of Wicked, and I will not regret it, and I will not look back. And I will never, ever quit on franchises like Wicked, Victorious, iCarly, who inspired me to create so many great videos for whatever niche I was talking about at the time. Because as a YouTube creator, it's very difficult to create content that people appreciate and reach out because of. And when I created this YouTube channel on Descendants and Zombies, I had recognized the popularity of it, but I didn't know how worldwide popularity really affected this and had such a huge impact on it. I love it so much. And there is no niche in the world that I honestly would rather provide commentary for than on Descendants and Zombies, because you guys have deserved to hear far better than what you've been hearing for far long enough. And I just wanted, you're going to have to forgive me because I just wanted to do that for you. I saw the Worlds Collide tour on YouTube. I wish I could have attended it live because the special effects looked outstanding, but I think the special effects could have had improvement. I think we could have seen more pyro, and I give you my word that if I am ever the choreographer of these dance numbers, these routines, or the director and producer of a Worlds Collide tour in the future, you guys will have pyro because you deserve it. You deserve to see nothing but the best. I say this because it may have something to do with how you've had a profound impact on my heart, because you guys really did help put the pieces of my broken heart back together. I can't even tell you how many times I've been brokenhearted. I haven't even had a girl that's even hit the like button for any video that I've uploaded on YouTube. I don't think she's ever watched a video that I've uploaded once. I'll always prioritize what they wanted to get out of life before ever watching a video that I created for YouTube. Maybe it was because it wasn't about stuff they liked. I had a lot of girlfriends who didn't like Descendants, who didn't even like Disney. There was a point in time in my life when I had a girlfriend who thought that Disney princesses made her sick, and there were more times than often enough when I would be watching something like the remake of Sleeping Beauty or the remake of Snow White remastered in HD. She would literally go in the bathroom and throw her guts up in the toilet because she thought the Disney princesses had these flawless images that were pretty fake. And it really broke my heart. I've been in some of the most ridiculous situations that I have never even commented on this YouTube channel, but for every single person who let me down in life because they wanted to prioritize things they wanted to get the most out of life for, not that there's anything wrong with that, because a girl's opinion is what matters before a guy's ever will, and I probably say that because I'm a real sweetheart, and you girls probably want to kick the ass of every girlfriend that I've ever been with, but I just love creating videos about niches that attract a lot of people, because I just love your kindness. The one thing that jumped out at me when I used to watch Descendants with girls that were daughters or girlfriends that I may have had for a very short time in a brief period of time in my life that I wish I could have kept forever, because there were a lot of girls in my life that I wish to this day that I could have kept forever. There was just something about me that didn't allow me to keep a girl for forever because I prioritized them over everything else going on in my own life. But one of the greatest honors I ever had in my life was having the opportunity to sit down with a 9-year-old girl and watch Descendants. And ultimately what happened to me is I fell in love with it. And a lot of girls never knew that I hosted radio shows on the radio since 1999, YouTube since 2009. And I remember on Halloween when girls used to show up at my door dressed up as their favorite Descendants characters. Years years ago, Mal was the favorite character of everybody. I'm sure she's yours. A lot of girls who watch these videos probably have a favorite character from the original Descendants or even the new Descendants. Perhaps it's Bridget, maybe it's Mal, regardless. But I remember how girls used to show up at my door dressed up as Mal and Evie, and they would give me hugs, letting me know everything was going to be okay. And I want them to forever know that they are the reason why this YouTube show was created. Because I never ever wanted to doubt in the hopes of everybody's dreams and of ever their dreams becoming a reality. I never ever wanted to take that away from everybody. I know that girls that I were in relationships with wanted to prioritize and get more out of life perhaps than they ever could have seen with me. But I don't see anything wrong with that. Because for however many times my heart has been broken, I never wanted to break anybody else's heart. So what I mean by that is there are a lot of people who create these Descendants videos who will tell you that Descendants has had way too many movies created. They need to stop making Descendants movies. They're running out of supernatural creatures for the Zombies franchise. And that's everything and anything but a lie, because they're never going to run out of supernatural creatures for Descendants or zombies. I want you to stop watching these videos, and I want you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, because your kindness really helps this YouTube channel have an incredible reach. Because of you hitting the subscribe button, you don't know how much of an impact you will have on this YouTube channel. If anything, somebody out there is going to find these videos. They are going to fall in love with these videos because you hit the subscribe button, because you exemplified kindness when you didn't have to. You know, I can remember a time when this YouTube channel had literally 5 subscribers, I kid you not. That's all I had were 5 subscribers, and now I sit here tonight so proud to have 3,000 subscribers. And I know there are YouTube channels that create Descendants and Zombies videos that have 25,000, perhaps 30,000 subscribers, but that doesn't faze me. Because as far as I'm concerned, I have the most beautiful group of Descendants fans that anyone could ever have. You're going to have to excuse me because I think I'm suffering from a zombie infection. Every night when I record videos just before dusk, I think I'm transitioning into a vampire or a zombie. I don't know. Maybe I have to quit vampire slaying. I've been doing it since 1990, so it's been a long time, over 30 years. I used to watch all the top vampire TV shows like True Blood and Vampire Diaries and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I used to love those shows. And I always used to love fairy tales. Like, I always used to read the novels Cinderella and The Little Mermaid and Sleeping Beauty, and then I watched the instant classics Disney would produce since at least 1956 with Beauty and the Beast, 1958, I believe. You're going to have to forgive me. I'm a real... There's no other guy on YouTube that you will find that is this sweet. And I know I play a lot of video games. You see all the video games there in the back. Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon. I have everything. And that's what I pretty much spend my time. If I'm not creating YouTube videos, I'm pretty much just playing video games, wishing some girl would have a crush on me that I've loved for all of my life that never ever calls me. So pretty much I devote my time to creating videos. It's content creation all the way for this guy here. And I made the decision 1.5 years ago to devote my life to creating Descendants and Zombies videos because I just thought that would be for the better for every girl who ever believed in the possibility of forever existing, the possibility that they would find their true love, he or she would find their true love, because guys are welcome to subscribe to this YouTube channel too. Because I think that Dove Cameron, Kylie Cantrell, and especially Ruby Rose Turner are the most beautiful souls that we could ever have the privilege of talking about on a show, which is why we shouldn't devote our time to critiquing it in a way that it's not meant to be critiqued. Because the thing that people tend to forget, and yeah, I'm a real sweetheart, the thing that people tend to forget is Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner and Mila Baker have feelings too. So think about this. You're YouTubing Kylie Cantrell. You know Kylie Cantrell is so soft-hearted, and she devotes every single second of her life that she gets to entertain each and every one of you, learning the dance numbers, learning the script, auditioning for roles that sometimes she's turned down for more than she's ever admitted to you publicly in an interview because they just put her over for getting the role and being so outstanding. But the thing that people tend to forget are these stars have hearts too. So some critic will upload, some idiot will upload a video where they say nothing but bad things about your favorite Descendant stars like Kylie Cantrell. They will reduce her to tears, and then Kylie Cantrell cries herself to sleep every night because she can't make sense of the situation or her life, and she's left wondering in the dark, what did I do wrong? And I keep coming on here and I keep saying you didn't do anything wrong. I'll say it again tomorrow. I'll say it again on the podcast after that and the podcast after that because they don't deserve to have to do that. They are afraid to Google themselves now. 1 year after the rise of Red, they're afraid to Google themselves. Why? Why are they afraid to Google themselves? Should they be afraid to Google themselves? Why doesn't a guy just create nice videos about Descendants and zombies so that a million girls will hit his subscribe button, think he's the sweetest guy in the world? I know I've received criticism. I've been criticized for years on YouTube, but I never ever went away. I had to go away because stuff got in the way, beyond my control, situations and circumstances that befell me that I had no control over. But every single time I ever went away, because of obvious reasons, I came back. Because you girls are what matter to me the most. Because you are what has made me famous overnight. The reality of my life is, the story of my life is, I was just a guy uploading videos out of his parents' basement. I had no job, I had no money, and all I ever wanted was my story to be heard, along with my voice. And back in 1999, that was extremely challenging when you had Winamp and Shoutcast as resources. And they really were your only resources. The only other option you had was to apply for a local radio station that you didn't know you were going to get a job with, and you were going to become a radio disc jockey for. So pretty much you were putting yourself in a situation where you would be in a radio station, either start up a radio station from your parents' basement independently, or apply for a job at a local radio station where you didn't know, when you were doing a shift from, say, 7 p.m. till midnight every night, till 12 a.m. till midnight, till the clock struck 12, that you were going to be killed by some serial killer coming out of the woods. And our local radio station was on top of a hill. And that was not fun. So can you imagine being on top of a castle hill, like an Ed Sheeran song, Castle on the Hill, and then some zombie creature coming to kill you at 12 midnight? It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. So I decided to go the independent route and start up a show about various niches over the years, and eventually I fell into this one. And I've been forever grateful to have the opportunity to do it. Now, I know I said a lot of crazy things about how I vampire slayed because I had to back in the 90s. There weren't a whole lot of jobs that I qualified for. So that was one option. The other option was working at a noodle shop. And the other night I found out there's actually a noodle shop 5 minutes away from here. It's called Chinatown. So I can live the whole Kung Fu Panda lifestyle and probably get a job as an actor for Zombies 5 by the time we get to it. I was hoping to get in for Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, but that didn't happen. I've always wanted to kick Dracula's ass because I thought it would be really cool to actually kick Dracula's ass and have the opportunity to do it, because I was always a big fan of these vampire TV shows like True Blood, Vampire Diaries, Twilight. I watched that. I even read the Twilight books. Yeah, I'm going to shut up now. And I read the Notebook, and I got the Notebook movie too. If I find the Notebook movie in my collection one of these nights, I'll show it to you. And yes, Kylie, I do have a copy of Shrek. And you can come here and watch Shrek with Mila anytime you want. You and Ruby and Mila can hang out, and I'll go back to pro wrestling and pay for everything for you privately. Because no girl deserves to cry. That's why we got to get me in. As President of the United States, you girls have got to hit the subscribe button as fast as you can, because the faster you hit the subscribe button, I can get your stars like Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson and Kylie Control back playing Descendants and make them happy until they're 40 years old, and they can keep playing Descendants characters for each and every one of you. But it can't happen without the fan support. That's what I'm saying to you. You got to get this hot guy in as the producer of Descendants. So the only way you can get this hot guy in as the producer of Descendants, who understands girls better than any guy out there, is by hitting the subscribe button. Because you're what's made me famous overnight. And I'm sure you understand that. I know I appeal to a lot of different age demographics, but I'm sure every age demographic understands that Jonathan Clarke is the best thing that ever happened to Descendants. The day Jonathan Clarke became a Descendants and Zombies fan, stuff started to explode. Ratings went through the roof. Ratings on the rise. So if you hit the subscribe button, I can get in and I can make a whole lot of stuff happen. And I've wanted to make a whole lot of stuff happen for forever. Longer than a lot of you probably even know. All I ever wanted to do was create a show where people like Dove Cameron and Kylie Contrell could Google themselves, could YouTube themselves, and hear great reviews, awesome reviews, incredible reviews that not only inspired you guys, but inspired them to keep on doing a fabulous job. I want them to know they did nothing wrong. Every girl makes mistakes. Should she be held accountable for her mistakes? No. Until proven justified that she should be held accountable for her mistakes? No. And I don't think anyway, period, end of conversation, a girl should be held accountable for her mistakes. I think they're wonderful people. I think they're wonderful souls. And they are the essence of life. The only thing that's ever made sense to me, at least. So while I finish this cup of tea and go get the zombies before they get us, I hope that a million girls sees this video and hears my voice and will subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I really do need your support. Especially with how Mr. Beast has 416.5 million subscribers. And for those of you who don't know, that's a lot! So I need like as many subscribers as I can get, because I can never seem to get enough of your kindness. And I really do love you guys so much. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being a part of my life. I don't know honestly where I'd be without all of you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go upload this video and hope that everybody who watches will subscribe. I don't know if anybody's going to, but I hope that everybody does. Be kind to one another. Bye, YouTube. We will do this again at sunrise tomorrow morning, which is only in a couple of hours.